Breaking news, Jet fans. Breaking news here. The Jets have signed all-pro kicker Jason Sanders. The Sandy Man can. The Sandy Man can. So, uh, yeah, surprise cut by the New York Giants just yesterday. And in a surprising move, the Jets went ahead and picked him up. Now they released Young Wei Koo to make room on the roster. They also released Daquan Felton, who they just signed to sign. Stay to the end before you know the end of that one. But let's get back to Mr. Sanders. This may be our guy for the next 5 years. What? Wait, what? Let's take a look. All right. Here he is. Look. He's an all-pro 1 right there in 2020. So as you can see here, his field goal percentage really good when you sort for it. He's had a 92.3, 90.2, 90. Boy, that's a lot of 90s. That's really good. Then he had an 85.7, 81.3, and 2 years in the mid-70s. So he's kind of been all over the place, and then his extra points, 1 year at 100, 98.3. So his career mark, 84.6. Okay. Very good, solid, and a 96.6 on the extra points. So what's the problem? Why hasn't this person been able to? What happened? I mean, look, his last year 90.2, 92.9 on the extra points. What happened here? Well, you notice 2025 is missing. So what happened is he got hurt. His hip. He injured his hip. And it was a fairly significant injury because he missed the entire season last year. So he didn't kick at all last year. That was his age 30 season. Now he's age 31. But with the asterisk of if he's healthy, and, assuming he can get back to the way he was, 85%, 97% on extra points, 85% on field goals, also pretty good from long range, this could be our guy for the next 5 years. Why couldn't he stick around? The Sandy Man can. The Sandy Man can. Why not? Because he's only 31 years old. The only thing that held him back was the hip injury. And the Giants had him in camp with two other guys. And all of a sudden they needed to sign 3 wide receivers, 3 bums if you ask me. So they needed a roster spot, and they let Sanders go, surprisingly, and the Jets just scooped him right up. So, look, I think this could be a guy who, with the asterisk, you got to be healthy and get back to the way he was. Hopefully that's what happens here. And he's going to have to beat out Cade York, which should be no problem. And maybe this guy, halfway through the year, everything's going good. We see that he's, sort of like back to the way he was. Boom, give him a 2-3 year extension and keep going like that because, it would be nice to have a guy as reliable as this guy has been historically as our kicker. Pair him up with Austin McNamara, and you got a good 1-2 combo there. So he's got a good long leg. For example, in 2024, a 50 plus, he made 12 out of 14. That's a lot of attempts at 50 plus. And he made 12 out of 14 from 50 plus. So he's got a good long leg, accurate. One other year he was 8 out of 9 from 50 plus. So he can make the long ones. And he has a historically good overall percentage, both extra points and the PATs. Perfect. Great. Maybe we lucked into something here. Boy, that would be nice. Thank you, Giants. But again, he's got to be healthy. And he's got to, have no lingering effects of, the hip injury that might cause him to not get back to the way he was. But to me, I'm very optimistic about this. This could be great. And you get him for virtually nothing? We didn't even have to waste a pick on him? Fantastic. Now, not everybody's as enthusiastic as I am. Some of your beat writers are very, maybe time for retirement. Look at Brian Costello. The kicking carousel is already dizzying. He can't take it anymore, this guy. Maybe time for retirement. You know, you wonder these people who are reporting on our team, like, maybe retire. Perhaps. You know what I mean? Like, if you're so unenthusiastic that that's your reaction, why are you doing the job? You clearly don't enjoy it. Have you ever seen this guy? You look like a guy that's a joy to work with. He comes into the office and you're like, "Yay, Kaz is here." It's like, dude, if you don't enjoy your job, go do something else with your life. Life's too short. But anyways, now back to the roster speculation. They also unexpectedly released Daquan Felton. Not that Daquan Felton was going to be some big contributor or anything. He was not. He was going to be fighting for a spot on the practice squad. But they released him for no apparent reason. So you might be saying, what the hell is going on with that? As I said. Now, there's no reporting on this. But could it be Cam Jordan? Could it be Kenny Moore? Something like that. Or more likely, a no-name wide receiver that nobody's ever heard of. But it just is weird. Like, my speculation would be they just signed Daquan Felton like yesterday or the day before. And like I said, he was just a guy with a height-speed combo, and he was going to fight for a practice squad spot. So it's not a big deal. But why would you release him so soon after signing him? The only thing I could think, and this is pure speculation on my point, is that somebody out there accepted unexpectedly a contract offer maybe that we had out for them for a while, and we were just figuring, well, the person's not going to take that. And maybe he called us, and the agent called and said, yep, we're taking it. And that's the reason they were like, oh, okay, well, Felton, we just got here, so we didn't know. That would be a reason for the quick turnaround of signing Felton and then getting rid of him, because we didn't know mystery player was going to accept our long-standing offer that we had out there for him. So that would explain that. But that's just pure speculation on my part. And that could be a guy like Cameron Jordan, Kenny Moore, the safety. Those would be the two I would look at. Those positions, certainly. We could use another defensive tackle. We could use another safety for sure. So we'll have to see. But that's a kind of like exciting speculation on my part. So we'll have to see what comes of that. But as always, FSPN will break down the news as it happens better than the mainstream media. Frankie from Flatbush. This might be the best kicker and perhaps the best team we've ever had since